Welcome to Wealth Wisdom. If you have ambitions to achieve financial success, please leave yes in the comment, and we are here to help you obtain insight and build wealth. The book we are going to share today is Mindful Self-Discipline by Giovanni Dienstmann. Live the life you truly desire. Let's talk about self-discipline. It's an old idea that people often get wrong. Self-discipline isn't about feeling bad about yourself, or denying yourself everything, or living by strict rules. It's not some mean force making you do things you don't want to do. No, self-discipline is about living your life in a way that matches your big dreams and goals. It's about being able to handle all sorts of challenges and obstacles, and being committed to what really matters to you. The cool thing about self-discipline is that it makes you feel stronger. The Greek word for self-discipline is enkratia, and the krat part actually means power. So every time you practice self-discipline, you're building up your personal power. It gives you this great feeling of knowing you're doing your best, which helps you live without regrets or those nagging thoughts of what if, or I should have. When you forget about your goals and let yourself be distracted, or give in to the desire for immediate pleasure, it's like letting a bit of your power slip away. Now, here's the thing. We all have self-discipline. It's not some mysterious concept that only a few people can understand or possess. We show it in the simple things we do every day, like brushing our teeth after we eat, showing up to work on weekdays, or taking care of a child when we're exhausted. These actions, though they might seem trivial, are actually super important. Without them, well, we'd end up with no teeth, no job, and no kids. What self-discipline really does is free us from being controlled by our base instincts and immediate desires. It lets us follow our higher goals. It's about being your own boss, designing your own life, deciding what you'll do and won't do. Think about it like using a TV remote. When you hit the power button, the TV turns on, right? If it didn't, we'd say the remote is broken. The point is, it's up to you whether you want to turn on the TV or not. But once you've made up your mind to hit that button, the TV should come on. That's like self-discipline. It helps you follow through on the promises you make to yourself. This isn't about being rigid, it's about having control over your life. Getting better at self-discipline doesn't just change you. It changes how you see and interact with the world. It's not about cutting out all the fun or freedom from your life. It's about giving you the control to choose what's best for you. It's not about being trapped, but freeing yourself from urges and short-term pleasures that could obscure your real goals. Before we continue, if you are interested in this topic, please consider subscribing and give us a thumb up. Let's continue. Find your why. Chasing self-discipline is all about having a big dream, a why that makes you get up and act. Without this sense of aspiration, trying to build self-discipline can feel like you're climbing a steep hill. It can make the habits you're trying to create feel forced. But when these habits are tied to a deeper dream, they become stepping stones to a happier life. This dream is like fuel, helping you get over all sorts of roadblocks like unforeseen problems, negative comments, self-doubt, procrastination, or feeling lost. As the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." So how do you find your why, your aspiration? Often, while your goals may be clear, it's tough to understand your dreams. In such situations, start with the goal and try to dig up the underlying intention. Ask yourself, why is this goal important to me? Keep asking why as many times as you need to uncover your deeper wishes. For example, if your goal is to lose weight, you might ask yourself, why do I want to lose weight? Because I want to be fit. Why do I want to be fit? So I feel good about my body. Why do I want to feel good about my body? To have more confidence. Why do I want more confidence? To feel empowered. Here, feeling confident and strong is the core value or dream powering the fitness goal. Discovering this link not only makes the goal more meaningful, but also helps you think of other ways to satisfy that core need or desire. This step is especially important if your current goals are focused on outer values like money, fame, looks, and power. By digging deeper, you can expose the inner values beneath these surface-level goals, leading to a more genuine and satisfying chase. In the big picture, the why is critical in your journey of self-discipline. Your actions come from a plan that is powered by your goals, and these goals are fired up by your deeper dreams. Asking why is thus a powerful way to find out what's driving your choices and desires, and helps align your actions, plans, and goals with your deepest dreams. It's a vital step toward building mindful self-discipline that truly serves your higher purpose, helps personal growth, and leads to a life of satisfaction rather than regret. Clarify your aspirations. Think of aspiration, self-discipline, and self-awareness as the three pillars that support a purposeful life. Self-awareness is like a mirror showing you what's going on inside. It's like having a personal mindfulness coach. Without self-awareness, life can be something that just happens to you. You react rather than act, and tomorrow is just a repeat of yesterday. But when you're self-aware, you can make choices. There's a gap between what happens to you and how you respond, and the bigger this gap, the more control you have over your life. One key part of self-awareness is being radically honest with yourself. This means facing up to the truth, however uncomfortable, and not trying to dodge it. It's about telling yourself exactly what's going on, without letting yourself off the hook. Let's say you've made a promise to avoid sweets for a month, and you're at a party, eyeing the dessert table. You might tell yourself, "I promised I wouldn't eat sweets for 30 days, because that's my goal. But here I am, about to break that promise, just because I'm at a party, and they've got my favorite ice cream. I really want to give in." By admitting to yourself what's happening, you're more likely to resist temptation and stick to your goal. Even if you do give in, at least you're not fooling yourself. You know you've made a choice. Being radically honest with yourself means catching yourself when you're procrastinating, making excuses, sabotaging yourself, or giving up on your goals. It means admitting that sometimes you might not really want what you say you do. But being aware of this doesn't mean you give up. It means you see the reality, accept it, and then decide what to do next. Here's a quick task for you. Think about 3 times in the past week or month when you lied to yourself to justify doing something you knew wasn't right for you. Promise yourself that you'll catch yourself next time. Self-awareness, then, along with aspiration and self-discipline, put you in charge of your life. With radical honesty, you're not just reacting to what life throws at you, or following your impulses. Instead, you're consciously designing your future, creating a life that reflects your deepest values and goals. Bolster your commitment to your goals. So we know aspiration and self-discipline are the main building blocks for a life with purpose. But the third key element, self-awareness, is just as important. It keeps everything balanced and steady. One important part of self-awareness is neutrality, being able to look at your experiences objectively, like a scientist observing an experiment. By looking at things with a neutral eye, you can avoid getting too attached to your experiences. This helps you see things clearly, without feeling shame or guilt or criticizing yourself. All these negative feelings do is push you farther away from your goals, causing stress and pain. This often leads to what researchers Janet Polivy and C. Peter Herman called the what the hell effect, where you give up on your goals and choose quick, feel-good actions instead. But what if you replaced self-criticism with awareness? You'd simply observe what happened, give yourself a pat on the back for being aware, and then make a choice. You can either give up on your goal because you don't think you're worthy, or you can confirm your commitment to it. You might worry that without self-criticism, you'll become lazy or complacent. But the research shows that's not true. If your aspiration is strong and clear, that's all the motivation you need. You can leave shame and guilt out of the equation. Studies have found that trying to repress thoughts and urges actually makes them stronger. For example, one study asked people to ring a bell every time they thought of a white bear. The people who were told not to think about a white bear ended up ringing the bell more often than those who were allowed to think about it. Another study found that smokers who tried to suppress thoughts about smoking ended up smoking more in the long run than those who were allowed to think about it. The lesson here is that the more you resist something, the stronger it becomes. It sticks around and silently shapes your life. Instead of trying to suppress your thoughts, you can adopt a neutral, accepting awareness. This means observing your thoughts, feelings, and urges without trying to repress them. It's like sitting by a river, watching the water flow by, without trying to change its course. So now that we understand how important self-awareness is and what it looks like, how do we develop it? That's what we'll explore next. Build new habits. Boosting self-discipline and self-awareness is a great start, but the real shift happens when you put these into action, making positive changes in your life. It's time to move forward, shaping and following new habits. To live a life aligned with your goals and values, you need to cultivate habits that correspond with those goals and values. But how long does it take to make a habit stick? You'll hear a range of answers, from 21 days to over 250. No matter how long it takes, the best part about a habit is that once it's in place, it becomes automatic. It takes less self-control or willpower to keep it up. In this way, habits are a kind of shortcut to self-discipline. But while many are quick to work on creating habits, they often forget the equally important task of keeping them going. Some actions, like handling relationship issues or braving a cold shower in winter, can't be automated and need willpower. Relationships, after all, are dynamic and ever-changing, and the body is programmed to avoid icy water. Also, even well-established habits can fade with changes in environment or life circumstances. If you ignore your disciplined mindset, just like if you ignore keeping clean or taking care of a relationship, it can lose its sharpness and drive. The quality of your life is a reflection of your regular thoughts and actions, so developing the right habits is key. But how do you develop new habits? Start by picking a trigger or cue to remind you. Use your environment to help. Link your new habit with something you already do regularly. This could involve time-based cues like alarms or calendar events, or situational cues based on a location, a person, or a feeling. The method is simple: when X happens, I will do Y. For example, when your alarm goes off at 10 p.m., it's time for your nighttime routine. Or when you see your kids at the end of the day, it's time for a hug and some quality time together. Using cues helps you avoid having to make too many decisions, because you've already decided what to do when the trigger happens. Now, every time the trigger comes up, your action becomes almost automatic. You don't have to make a new decision. But for this to work, your cue has to be dependable and directly connected to your desired habit. For daily habits, find daily cues. If your habit is linked to a specific place or person, tie your cue to them. If it's a reaction to a certain emotion, connect it to that feeling. The more specific and reliable your cue, the easier it becomes to do the desired action. Many experts recommend using an existing habit as the anchor for your new habit, a method also known as habit stacking. This piggybacking of habits leverages the consistency of your existing routine, giving a stable base for your new habit. The order of habits in your routine can also be important. If the new habit is hard or not very fun, try to schedule it right after something you enjoy or make it a requirement for an activity you like. This strategy ensures your willpower will be at its strongest when you need it most. In this journey towards self-discipline, remember, creating habits is just the first part. Keeping them going is where the real work and long-term benefits are. So start today, create a new habit, and make a meaningful change in your life. That's the end of today's sharing. If you like our content, please give us a thumb up and share it with your friends. See you next time.